Well, hello everybody. I'm back again. I have not made a video in, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. We're getting close to Transworld. As the date of this recording, it is Monday, before the week of Transworld. So that means most people are going to start arriving in St. Louis in 7 days. So this was the perfect day for this topic that I have today. And today's topic is, what have I learned from doing haunt tours to help me become a better haunter? What have I learned to teach me to get my haunt open correctly the first day, the right way, open on time, with no problems? Well, first off, you can't do anything 100%, but you can try, okay? And I'm going to teach you some things that I've learned and things that we're going to do at the Darkness over the next 7 days. But before we do that, and by the way, that's my ringer. Whoops. And that's my ringer. So, sorry about that. I was talking to Michael Shaley today, and he says my videos are off the cuff. They're just me being Larry, just kind of sort of talking and telling you what I know, which is exactly what I'm doing. I don't have a script or anything like that. I'm just trying to help you improve your business and become better at what you do. Okay? And when my phone rings, we're not going to edit that out. When I have to talk to somebody, we're not editing that out. We're just making a truly genuine video, hopefully, that helps your business. Now, a lot of you will be going to Transworld, or there's a lot of other events. Hong Kong just ended. They had seminars there. I don't know how good they are. I can't vouch for any seminar. I can't vouch for any speaker. All I can vouch for is what I'm telling you is authentic and genuine, and every video that I've made, it truly is meant to help you and help your business. Now, a couple things that we're going to talk about before we go into this video. I'm here and I'm going to show you our mini golf that we're installing. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, because it has really turned out to be incredible. And for those people who don't know, our company, we build attractions, we build haunted houses, obviously. We build escape rooms, obviously. But we also build laser tag, mini golf, and that's what we're here building today, and we're trying to get this done. And I wanted to talk to you real quick about the tour coming up and give you a quick update on that. If you haven't bought a ticket yet to the Darkness Haunted House Tour, these videos are meant to be educational. My tour that I'm doing is meant to be educational, which is why we've spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars, at least $200,000, if not more, putting it together to try to give the haunt industry like a live, interactive, educational experience. That's what I really feel that it is, and what I've always felt it is supposed to be. Which is why I've always said, if I don't have anything new to offer, we won't do a tour. I won't just open it up as it was before. So if we do something big and exciting, and something that I think will make your toes curl with excitement, then we'll do a tour. If not, we won't. And so here's where we're at with the tour, real quick, before we get into today's topic. The limp, if you go on to darkness.fearticket.com, you'll see that the limp, all the slots are sold out now except for the very last one. And it only has about 40 tickets left. So if you want to come to the limp, you need to scurry over there and get the tickets, because I'm assuming it'll be sold out before the end of this week, is my guess. The behind the scenes tour, which is on Thursday at the Darkness, that includes a seminar. We're also going to be giving away a lot of free DVDs and magazines and a bunch of other stuff. That tour is Thursday night from 7 to 9, And Grim Life Collective will be there doing a guest speaker for that Q&A. That's where you get to walk through the haunted house. You get to take pictures and videos, and there's no fog, and you get to go through and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that tour caps out at $275, and that tour is only got about 50 tickets left. That would be my guess, around 50. The Darkness haunted house tour, if you go to try to buy the tickets, you'll notice that the first 3 slots are sold out. I would imagine maybe by tomorrow the first 4 will be sold out. That tour is down to about 150 tickets left. That was 150 out of 800, so it had the most available. So it will sell out. We're not going to add more. And the reason why we don't add more, although we have added some extra to the behind the scenes tour in the past, only like when the regular event is over at 9 o'clock, we added it at like a 9:15 or 9 o'clock, and it was like 25 people or something like that. I don't know that we'll add those this year. We added them the last 2 years only because that was the only tour we were doing. So more people wanted to come. So they didn't get to go to they didn't get to go to the seminar Q&A part. They only got to go through the haunt only after everybody else had gone through. But the reason we don't add more tickets is because, and I've already explained this 100 times, but the haunt owners go through extremely slow. So unless I want to be there till midnight or 1 in the morning, which I do not, then we can only let so many people in to give spacing for people to go through. It's very hard to do a haunt tour for haunted house owners. It's probably the most stressful thing you would ever do. Which brings us to today's topic. And I have this piece of paper here. It's not notes for this, as Michael Shaley said, off the cuff seminar. What this list is right here is a list that I made of everything that needs to be done at the Darkness to be open on time. Now, if we look at this list, which we're going to right now, you'll see there's 1 page, there's 2 pages, and then it extends over into a third. Okay? Now, let me tell you that some of the things that I've learned when you're trying to get your haunted house open on time for the first night, I can tell you in the past, prior to Transworld, I never did that. I remember like on our first night, sometimes the customers would wait 2 hours, 3 hours, because we just couldn't let them in because it wasn't ready. And now, when I did my first haunt tour for Transworld, the first year Transworld was ever in St. Louis, you know, I was consciously trying to avoid that problem that I had always had when I opened my haunt for the first time. So of course I was trying to avoid that, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen for one reason, and that was because we didn't have any charged radios. So that was just like, I didn't think of that, you know. And it's the thing that trips you up is all the little things. And I'll tell you, the very first event we did for Transworld was a behind the scenes tour. And you know what? The power kept going off. It kept going off and off and off all night. So we literally had people at all the junction boxes just flipping the breaker back on. And then the very next day, I had electricians come and they fixed the electric. That taught me that you can't really know for sure when you install a bunch of new lights, animations, props, things of this nature, speakers, sound, whatever, TVs, that you're draining the electric. And what is interesting is that it seems to work while you are testing it and walking through it. But what I learned was that when you had just a minimal amount of people, 100, 200 people in the building at one time, and they're all trying to trigger every animation at the exact same time, that's when you realize that the electric is no good, okay? That you have added a bunch of new stuff, and now the electric can't handle it. So I had to learn on the fly on that one. Now, when I opened the haunted house just last week for my Bloody Valentine, guess what happened? The electric kept going off. So that sucks. So one of the things that I would tell you guys is when you're trying to get your haunted house open and ready for the first night, then, you know, it's not a bad idea to have all your actors come in the haunted house, you know, a few days before and literally spread them out all over the place and try to trip up every animation, trigger everything, turn on the fog, turn on the air compressors, turn on everything, just to figure out whether or not your electric is gonna work or not. Okay, there's tip number one. Now, I did not do that for my Bloody Valentine, so we had to keep triggering the electric on again and again and again. So one of the things for this haunt tour, and this is one of the things that I will tell you when it comes to building a haunted house, you can budget for a lot of things, but you're never going to cover all the bases, because you have unexpected things that happen that you didn't know were going to happen, and those things cost you a lot of money. When I say a lot of money, it could cost you a ton. 6 figures, maybe 7. So fixing this problem, I don't know if it's fixed, to be honest with you. We separated TerraVisions from the gift store because we had TerraVisions going out and the gift store went out. So we've separated the two. And the idea is they're no longer on the same circuit. So hopefully that fixes it. But we don't know. Secondly, we went into the first floor because that was blowing constantly. And where did we do all the work to the darkness this year? It was on the first floor. No wonder the first floor was going out, not the second. Okay, so what did we do? We decided to add another breaker box, and we put more receptacles in that are running off new circuits. So now what we have to do is go unplug stuff and start plugging it into the new receptacles, hopefully taking the strain off of the other breaker box, the one that was popping on my Bloody Valentine. Will it work? We don't know. There's only one way to find out. That's to open. We'll know, and we'll do our best to test it. And one of the ways you can test it is the way I just told you. So when we're working on the haunted house coming up this week, we're going to turn everything on and keep it on. That brings me to another point, the air compressors. You know, did you service your air compressors? Did you have the oil changed? Did you have them cleaned? Did you have them checked? Because, you know, I did that. I have a checklist. See, you see it right here. I had a checklist, and I did that. And then on my Bloody Valentine, lo and behold, the air compressor that I had fixed twice broke. And so it was not working. So you got to have a backup plan for that. The backup plan for us is disconnect certain animations that take up the most air. That's the backup plan. And then, you know, call the air compressor company as fast as possible and get it fixed. So we're hoping that the air compressors are working for the haunt tours. Don't know. You're going to have to run them and run them hard. And so that's one of the things we're going to do this week is run them hard and see if they make it. And that's something that I strongly suggest that you try to figure out before you open. Now, I can tell you, when we're looking at this list right here, I make lists, and this is very important, and I recommend you all do this, is make lists. Literally, the best way to do it now is to take an iPad through the haunt and just make notes and literally put everything and anything on the notes. And what you're going to find is that list gets updated 4 or 5 more times. You can email that list to yourself and then spread it out to every single person who works for you. Print it, print several copies, give them to all the people who work there, and pin them on the walls. And put pins next to it, and as you get something done, cross it off. But I will recommend, especially if you're the one in charge of your haunt, is to go back and double check that all of these things were done. Very important. Now, what are some of the things that are on my list? Let's go over it. And I Need reading glasses to be able to see this. Basically, one of the things that I said to my crew is to, in what order to do things. That's another important aspect of getting your haunted house done on time and getting it done right the first time, is make a list, an order. Here's what you're going to do first. Here's what you're going to do second. Here's what you're going to do last. Okay? So if you look at my list, it says, hey, starting on Monday, do the darkness, then, blah, 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 blah. Okay? And one of the things that we want them to do is fire up the fog machines. Put fog in it and see that they work. And fill them up. Because a lot of times people can forget that. And then so you're about to open, and then guess what? Your fog doesn't work because, they're not heated and it's not ready to go. There's no fog in it. Speaking of fog, did you order more? Okay, well, I did. I ordered more fog, so that's already done. I did it. That's an easy thing to forget. One of the things I like to do before I know we're going to open is, hey, start by just cleaning the whole place, because you can get rid of screws on the floor. You can get rid of any trash and debris. So that was the first thing on our list, is to clean the whole entire haunted house. We're going to start by cleaning it, okay? And then it just kind of sort of goes through a bunch of silly things like put shower curtain in the bathroom scene, add more dirty clothes, sweep the entire haunted house, vacuum the gift store, move any extra boxes in the gift store to the top of the 5-minute escape. We don't want any clutter. Set up chairs for the seminar, for the behind the scenes tour, very important. Put a speaker out, put the mics on, check the mics, make sure they work. You don't want to check that like 2 minutes before. Add water to all the water effects. Hang more tentacles when they arrive. I'm just giving you, these are things that we have to do. We ordered more t-shirts. We had to assign to somebody to go into the gift store and hang all those t-shirts, fold those t-shirts. That's an easy thing to forget. And then you're literally doing it as you're open. You don't want to do that. And then we want to install a flying rig system. We have to cut some stuff out of the ceiling. That's on the list. And then, one of the things that we always say is go through the entire haunted house. You want to check all the scares that the actors use, okay? For example, drop pictures, pull pictures, slamming doors, or the hinges on, or the springs attached. Do they work? Go through and check every single one, okay? And then while you're doing that, we do something we call the push, pull, tug test. So every animation, every box on the floor gets pulled, tugged, and pushed, and to see if they'll move, if they need to be secured. And so this says, like in the laser swamp, some of the boards that we put in front of the lights so the customers can't knock them out of alignment have come off. The people who originally installed them incorrectly installed them with staples, which was pretty, bad idea. Go back, put screws in all of them. Fix a waterfall. Secure all the bodies in the new section. Add fog to the new section with a blower, because we found out that on My Bloody Valentine, no fog would get over there. It also says set up a meeting with the section leaders. So I would highly advise that, hey, I put it on the list. And then I have a tech list, okay? Fix the lights in the church, fix the sound in the church, fix all the TVs, make sure they work. We have to reprogram some remotes. And guess what? We lost some remotes for My Bloody Valentine. So we have spares, but they have to be programmed. They couldn't be done in 5 minutes. We couldn't find the remotes. So if you have TVs that turn on, make sure that they all will turn on. 2 fog cannons upstairs do not work, fill with fog. Check for air leaks. There was air leaks everywhere. Install all the scent machines. Add speakers to the new sections. Move some of the motion sensors. This was a big deal. Like some of the animations were going off too late. So we need to move the motion sensors. This is something you easily can test by like walking through with you and 3 other people. In my opinion, you want to set these motion sensors off like just as the first person gets to the animation, so that it'll hit maybe the end of the first person, second, third person. You certainly don't want to hit in the last person and then the first section of the group didn't see anything. We have to add some candles to the fireplace. We have to glue them. And you know what? It says program all the remotes and put all the radios on the charger. Now, let me reiterate. Something as silly as reminding yourself to put radios on a charger. This is an easy thing to forget. When you're so busy running your haunted house and you're literally just chicken with your head cut off, you forget little stuff like that. Other things you could put on the list is like, let's say you sell drinks, stock the coolers. Make sure all the t-shirts for sale are stocked and priced. You literally can go through a laundry list. One of the other things that will be on our list is when we do these special events, we have to like set up where the rails are going to go so somebody from the city doesn't park in front of the building, because that could happen. And if they did park in front of the building, guess what? That's where people buy tickets, or that's where people go in. In the case of transfer, that's where we're going to set up a photo op. And the list goes on and on and on and on of all the things that you might need to do to get open. Now, I can tell you that every single time that I make one of these lists, there's a second list. And then there's an addendum to that list, and another addendum, and another one, and another one. It seems like it never ends. And then you think you've crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, and guess what? You haven't. You haven't. So then you operate, you learn, and you quickly repair. Now, in my case, I would say that every time we've opened, there's always been a lot of stuff that needs to be done again. We need to work even double hard the next day. After the first day, you have a much better understanding of what needs to get done, the little things that you missed. I'll tell you another thing. Are your fire extinguishers out? Are your fire extinguishers updated? Meaning they're tagged for this year. Are they expired? Now, you know you can get a fine, a big fine from OSHA for having fire extinguishers that aren't up to date. Now, this is a good one. Let's say you have an indoor haunt. Did you get a sprinkler test? Because you have to get a sprinkler test every year. Literally, your fire department can come shut you down with no up-to-date sprinkler test. You also need to get a test on your alarm system. We try to do these in the summer, like way, way, way in advance, because they're good for a year, okay? So why not just get them in the summer? Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. There's just so many little things that you do. Now, one of the things, too, that I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my haunted house with a high-powered light. I'm going to check every wall. I'm going to check every crack and crevice of the floor. I'm going to make sure there's nothing to trip on. I'm going to make sure there's no screws poking out of the wall that I can cut my face on or cut somebody with. I'm going to push and pull and tug on everything. And I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm going to be a little rough. Because do you think your customers are rough? Of course they're rough. So you have to go in there and you got to act like a customer in a way. And sometimes I'll bump into a wall with my shoulder and give it a shoulder strike. You know, for those who don't, I used to play football. I used to love football. I like the violence of it, to be honest with you. And I really did enjoy the violence of it. And I played defense. It was more fun to play defense because you get to, you know, tackle people and hurt them in a way. And so I just found that entertaining. But anyway, and so, you know, just give it a, you know, a good old, shot. And, you know, push on it, hit it, pull it. You know, put your hand in something that you think maybe the customers might put their hand in there. Does it hurt? Don't know. I'd rather find out on my own hand than my customer's hand, I can tell you that. Okay? Go into all the scare boxes, check them all. Check for screws, because a lot of times these scare boxes are, you know, like they're just empty, aside from the actor. So when people are screwing things and they screw them into those walls, and they don't even go in the scare boxes to check, and there's a screw poking in there, and your actor can get hurt. So there's so many things. Are your costumes ready to go? Do you know what costumes you're going to use? What masks you might use? Do you have makeup? You've got to make checklists, and then you've got to delegate to the people to do them. And that's really, really important. You have to delegate. You got to have a team that you trust. And even though you trust them, there's no better fertilizer than a farmer's footsteps. Let's see who's calling me. People at the darkness wanting to know where I'm at. So, hopefully this video is of help to you. Please leave your comments below. Okay? And we will tackle your issues and we will address them. I do want to mention that this is video 499. That means our 500th video would be the one after this. You know, I find it much more enjoyable to make videos just for fun. I don't care if 4 people watch it, okay? It's just kind of fun, right? I like to go travel and see things, and I want to get back to that once Transworld's over. I have trips planned to Vegas. I'm going to Vegas twice. I'm going to Denver, and I'm going to go to Los Angeles. Probably going to go to Cleveland and Indianapolis. I just have plans to go all over the place. And we're going to try to go do some more behind the scenes tours and everything else. But I look forward to seeing everybody here at Transworld. Now let's go check out this mini golf. And you can see we have people here painting. They're painting the door. We're gone hog wild. Hey Dave.
Yep.
So let's check out this mini golf. And if anybody's interested, I can tell all you haunters out there, there's more money to be made running a family fun center with a lot less stress. And by the way, for me, a family fun center could also be a blacklight mini golf. It could be an escape room facility. It could be anything. But the best decision I ever made as a haunted house owner, and I mean the best decision I ever made, was opening that escape room facility, even though for the first year it was really a struggle. You just got to figure it out. And that's what we did. And now it makes more money than the haunted house. And what's really interesting about it, it helps me fund the opening of the haunted house. I no longer borrow money, rack up credit card debt. I just borrow from the escape rooms. I do suggest all haunted house owners open another attraction. You've got the people to do it. And if you ever want a blacklight mini golf, you know who to call, or a laser tag. A family fun center could be installed in about 10,000 square feet. Now, most of them are a lot bigger, but I'm saying you're doing a small one. You do a mini golf, you do a laser tag, you do an arcade. And you could do a couple escape rooms. You could do axe throwing, this is CGI effect. You could do that kind of stuff, and you could do it all in 10,000 square feet. But this mini golf is probably one of the best we've ever built. Look at that great white shark up there. He's pretty cool. And there's a CGI effect up there, but it's not turned on. And look at that thing. Isn't that cool? There's a loophole. So the idea is you kind of start at, you know, the Bahamas, where all the pirates are getting all their supplies. Then they're on their ship. They have a pirate battle, they get sunk, and then you can see the Kraken over there. And then now you're in the mythical world of Atlantis. And you're kind of on the treasure island kind of thing. And you go through the cave. And there's like the entrance to the treasure temple. The temple where they left their treasure. You can see that. That was built on our CNC machines. It's kind of built by carpenters and by CNC machines and using some vacuum for them. You can see how beautiful it is. And then you have this last hole, our last room, I mean. And there's a CGI effect there. And here's a hole over here. Whenever we do mini golfs, you can see we're painting doors. And then there's a photo op right here. Whenever we do these mini golfs, and by the way, look at this snake. Doesn't that look real? Now, as most people in the haunted house industry would know, you could use 3D glasses. And this whole thing is popping in 3D. Now, we still build 3D haunted houses. I don't think there's anybody that can build one better. We do an amazing job. We recently built one for a haunted house. I think it was called, maybe it was called Reaper's Revenge, maybe, near Philadelphia. We've built them for like literally every theme park you can think of. And we can build real haunted houses as well. But we would much prefer to do these blacklight mini golfs. And we would much prefer to do these laser tags and stuff like that. I mean, if we have to, we'll build a haunted house. If the budget's right, why not? Now, imagine that with 3D glasses. That thing would be popping out. Look at that. Now, you have to admit, this thing is pretty damn cool, right? So, I look forward to seeing everyone at Transworld. The black light highlights the gray in my hair. It's called getting older. So we look forward to seeing everybody at Transworld. If you want to learn more about blacklight attractions, go to blacklightattractions.com. We build laser tags, mini golf, haunted houses, escape rooms, you name it. And that's like one of the reasons why we have such insight about the topics we talk about. We build all kinds of attractions. We work in all kinds of different genres, from amusement parks to family fun centers to haunted attractions. It gives us some real insight that a lot of people might not have otherwise. And then of course we run 3 haunted houses and our own escape room facility. So there you have it. So, make sure you like and subscribe to the page. We hope you found this information useful. We will have more videos, but we are looking forward to getting to Transworld and making a lot of cool content. We will be highlighting some of the cool booths that we see. We will go through the whole show, including the Christmas show, and hopefully we'll see some cool stuff. I can be honest here and say that I think the show for the last few years anyway, it's been like essentially the same thing every year. So I'm really hoping to see something new, something exciting, something wow. And even though we've already renovated the darkness, and we don't spend too much money on the lamp, we do have Creepy World in front of us. So we do plan on renovating that. And hopefully very soon, we'll be getting to that. And we have to buy some stuff for it. And don't forget we have some props for sale. Reach out. And until then, everybody, here at the Pirate Golf, we'll see you next time.